All right, let's do it. Yo, this is No Comment.
Hey
This
guys.
is Brima. My name is Akil. You've been in a few of my videos before. We did some album reviews. Did we do anything other than album reviews or no?
Just things relative to music. I don't think.
We did
because
that
like, the
Travis
Kanye
Scott,
ranking.
Quavo thing.
Yeah.
The Eminem album, whatever that was called. And then we did another one.
The Kanye rankings.
The Migos and the Kanye ranking videos. Yeah.
Music related things for sure.
Yeah, all music related. But obviously, you and I, we both know each other that we're Game of Thrones freaks.
Yeah.
Right? We're like super geeks.
Yeah.
So like I get really, really into the details, and so this episode, we're gonna talk about all this. Okay. This episode didn't have any action in it. It was just all dialogue.
Yeah.
But majority of the dialogue was actually pretty interesting.
Okay.
And it was like not only like a setup going into what's going to happen in the season,
right,
but it was just a lot of reunions. Like you said, you called me, and as soon as the episode was done, you called me. You're like, yo, what do you think? Like, what did you say? Repeat what you said for the people to
I think it was, for the most part, they're just trying to really set up everything that is going to unfold as the season, progresses. And I think that, my initial feeling for that was kind of underwhelmed. But then when I thought about it and I just really realized, like, what's to come based on all of the, all of the people that saw each other in this episode for the first time, it really put things into perspective of where they're headed, into perspective about where they're heading. And I'm a bit worried because I think that they're really going to throw in a few monkey wrenches for us, and it's going to be a ride.
So I took when I watched it yesterday, I took so many notes. But the thing about it was like, it wasn't even really that many notes. Like your typical episode has dialogue, it's got some action, it's got some suspense, and I literally broke down each scene of anything and everything that was going on. So let's, I guess, start with the very beginning.
Okay.
So John, Danny come into Winterfell. Crazy nod to the first episode when Bran is trying to climb the tower. Same thing with the little boy. And same thing with Arya. Arya's like looking at the little boy running and stuff, and she's like smiling because she's like, damn, I remember those days, bro, before I was a fucking assassin.
Right.
And then, so what I realized about this episode was there's a lot of humor, a lot of like stupid jokes. Like, for example, like this first scene where you see Tyrion and Varys sitting in the thing, and then he was like, Tyrion says to Varys, he's like, you should consider yourself lucky, at least your balls are not freezing right now. And he's like,
I think he was like, obviously not verbatim. He was like, oh, it's kind of crazy how, you take offense to dwarf jokes, but you have no problem making eunuch jokes.
Yeah. And the really funny thing about that little eunuch joke, the very next shot is Grey Worm and Missandei walk on the horse. So I was like, that's really funny that they just had to show Grey Worm right after that because he's a eunuch as well.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny. So the really awkward part was, this shit made me mad. It's just Bran just being such a freaking sore loser. It's like, I get it, bro. You're a three-eyed raven, but like, why do you have to? But the thing is, like, the old man wasn't a freaking mute. He wasn't a weirdo. He had a conversation with the old man. The old man was just like, yo, you are the three-eyed raven. I'm going to take you on the trip. But he wasn't a freaking weirdo.
I will say Bran is a little bit, I mean, not that I'm a fan of him by any means, but I will say he's a little bit more into that transitional period. You know what I mean? We've seen slowly but surely, how he's become less of Bran and more the three-eyed raven.
Whatever that means, honestly.
Yeah, the dude that got all the answers, apparently. And with that being said,
I don't know. I don't think like that gives him an excuse to be, mute or be a robot.
It's completely different than out of who he used to be. Because Bran, used to be, running up. That's why his ass fell down in the first place, because he liked to climb trees and shit, climbing castles. He was very rambunctious, but like I said,
I thought he was just gonna download all this information, but then not not substitute for his personality.
No, but not even his personality, his entire being. He's not Bran anymore. Because remember, when he even left, the girl, the little home girl, Mira, right? He was like,
she's like, yo, I carried you.
Yeah, she was like, I died for you. He was like,
my brother died for you.
He was like,
bro.
word, thank you.
He was like, word, thanks.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
he's not really Bran anymore, like legitimately. Like it's just like Bran is kind of like the vessel, like the person, like, you know, like he's like the exterior, like the interior is the third-eyed raven.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not really like he even is Bran, and that's why he's acting the way that he's acting, because he's not Bran.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it just his Bran's like, you know, appearance realistically, you know, and that's exactly why, you know, he's given these very peculiar stares and, you know, things of that nature. But I mean,
Because what is he? He's really just like, when he's looking at somebody, like he does that with Tyrion. Like, when he's staring, he's really like staring into you, trying to look at everything about
I think
you.
we'll get some more context as, like, you know, the season unfolds.
But
whatever that means.
knowing we only have 5 episodes, it's like, how are they going to give any background story to anything? It's like, if they give a background story to the White Walkers, that might be its own entire episode.
No way.
But then when are they ever going
They're
to talk
not
about the
gonna
background as to why Bran is like that?
No, they're not going to talk about the background, but because it's been fleshed out very well.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
why Bran is like that.
Yeah,
by
yeah,
now.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's he doesn't need to explain, because I feel like, you know, when he embarked on his third eye raven journey, and he you know, met the third eye raven, the three-eyed raven. Pardon me, I keep saying third. The three-eyed raven, and, like, you know, they went through that whole, you know, journey per se. You kind of started to see, you know, the transition. You know what I mean? So they're not going to explain the transition when it's already been explained.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
another thing is, so when he saw Jon walk in,
Right.
he did have a little smirk. So it shows
Yeah.
there's like a glimmer of personality
Still.
way in the back.
Still,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, he can't rid himself of that identity completely, because he's still around people that, you know him to be Bran. So obviously that memory is still going to be present, especially when people are continuously, like, you know, reminding you of that. But that's about as much as they're going to get.
You
know?
think they're gonna have to sacrifice Bran for anything?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so, in a sense.
Where's
I
he gonna
think-
go?
I
Who's
think-
gonna carry
I
his
think
ass
that-
anywhere?
I thought that was. I thought
He might just leave him.
I thought that was definitely going to happen. I still think that it's possible. I don't know for a fact that it will, but, you know, I mean, I feel like his death or his sacrifice, whatever it ended up maybe being, is kind of insignificant at this point, because, you know, there's bigger fish to fry, and by bigger fish I mean, you know, the characters that we really don't know if they're gonna die or not.
Yeah, like Jon,
what I
Danny,
mean?
Cersei.
I mean, yeah,
those are-
depending on who you
Tyrion.
are. I mean, everybody has a different answer as to who's
Yeah.
gonna die and why. But I mean, this episode for me really, you know, allowed me to believe, you know, things that I didn't necessarily believe prior to this episode. And I definitely think that they're headed in a direction, but I'm getting too scared to cling on to that ideology, because they're also known for fucking us up very quickly and easily. But I think that, you know, I'm very stern in the way that I'm thinking, because I think some things are evident a bit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we'll have to see. But I'm calling it right now. I think Jon's gonna die.
Oh, you think so?
I think he's gonna die.
I think he's gonna do it in like one of those like noble ways. He's gonna die for the
No,
people,
I don't think
for
he
the
has a
North.
choice. I think he's gonna.
Well,
like,
he's gonna be the front man going into the war. Like
Right.
he's gonna be fighting the Night King. So whether he kills the Night King or they kill each other,
Right.
so I might believe that
think
too.
he-
Is that he's gonna
yeah.
have to sacrifice himself to kill the Night King?
I don't even think he's necessarily gonna be sacrificed. I just think his idiocy is idiocy a word?
Idiocy.
Yeah.
We'll make it up. I know what you're trying to say though. He's
Idiocy
an
is a
idiot.
word, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it is a word, but it might not be
Ignorance.
the right context. Anywho, it's gonna get him killed.
Yeah.
I think, you know, if he didn't learn from the first time, you know, being killed by his honorableness, him being as honorable as he is it was the death of him, and I still think it's going to be the death of him. You know, I think that a lot of people, you know, feel the way they feel about my bitch Sansa, and I say my bitch very loosely because I wasn't a big fan of Sansa up until I rewatched the series, and I really just saw, like, you know, I mean, she really wasn't as dumb as she comes off, you know, because it's real easy to just cling to Arya, and it's real easy to throw Sansa over by the wayside, because Arya really started from the bottom. I mean, let's not get
No,
fucked up,
no. I think Arya has grown a lot,
Yeah.
right? She's went from this little, you know, tomboy girl to assassin. Right. Her timeline makes the most sense. She was a tomboy growing up, like being a little girl. You know, she's always wanted to be like kind of like a guy, and then, you know, she becomes an assassin, cold-hearted assassin. That's cool. But a cold-blooded assassin. But with Sansa, yo, her storyline is crazy because she went through like
a lot.
She gave herself to so many people and got
lot.
fucked over. Which is
exactly.
why she's so cold right now.
Exactly.
Because she can't trust anybody.
And she's not that dumb, honestly.
She's not
that dumb.
She's just very naive.
Yeah.
And just let anybody come in, and she just easily trusted
She
people.
was very naive, but she's not naive.
But that's what made her this.
Yeah.
And I do really.
I resonate with her a lot because I think right now
she'd be a smart queen for the North.
I think she's the smartest person right now, honestly. I think, quite frankly, you know, I think it wasn't up until that moment that she had with Tyrion when she said, you know, I used to think you were the cleverest
man alive.
You know, I think that was in a sense her really like, you know, taking, you know, that title that she gave to him and giving it to herself because she can't be fooled by anybody really anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? She was fooled by so many people.
Just give a
fooled
list.
by Cersei, Peter Baelish, you know, Aunt Liza, because she thought Aunt Liza and her were cool, and so she realized
she was crazy.
Right. She realized she was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for her even thinking for a second that maybe, you know, even her and Ramsay could, in the beginning,
Joffrey.
She thought maybe, like, you know what I mean? All these. I think that, you know, as killable as she was up until the season 8, episode 1 especially, I don't think that she's going to die anymore. My barber is still very, very, very gung-ho about her dying.
How would she even die anyway?
No,
the only reason she would die is if like she really stayed at Winterfell to protect the people, and then the Night King showed up and
Well, that's the thing though. Like, I don't even think Jon's in a position right now because my barber thinks that Jon's gonna go to King's Landing by himself, which sounds pretty plausible. Maybe ride the dragon there. We said that, but then I thought to myself, like, damn. Is that like, how is that gonna work? Like, you know, him leaving again, but then again, it could go so many ways that it kind of is very, very, very overwhelming. But my main thing is like, I feel like, you know, she's the most predictable death, and that's what's going to make her live. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like the most predictable death because I thought to myself up to this point, like, there's no way they kill Arya. You know what I mean? But then I thought about it. I was like, honestly,
they know it's gonna make a lot of people sad, which is why they'll do it.
if they could figure out a way to do it and make sense of it, a way that probably none of us can think of because we don't think Arya has any means to die, that'll fuck people up. That'll fuck people up, and they could. I'm not gonna put it past them. So that's why when I thought about it, I was like, killing Sansa is so predictable. You know what I mean? So maybe she's not gonna die for that reason, and not only that, but she's smart. So I don't think she's gonna die, honestly. So I think Jon's gonna die. I think Arya might die, just because, like I said, that's like so unexpected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they find some reason to kill her off for a really good reason, then yeah. I mean, no matter which way she dies, she could literally fall off a cliff and die. I would still cry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Seriously. Anyhow. Right. So then we go into the very next scene after they show up to Winterfell, which is the meeting that they have. So it's Sansa, it's Dany, it's Jon, and then whoever else after that.
Right.
And then, you know, the little kid, Lord Umber, which obviously we see at the very end, he dies. That's the crazy thing about Game of Thrones is, like, you really gotta watch every fucking scene. Because the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, it's like some little kid that just died. But he was literally in the freaking beginning of the episode talking to them.
Yeah.
Which shows so much. They're like, hey, are you bringing your family over to, you know, fight for us? And he's like, yeah, my lady and my queen and my king. And it's just like, even the viewers, like, that's exactly what the viewers are thinking. It's like, yo, who are we reporting to right now? We have like 3 people. Like, we have a king of the north, we got this queen of the north, and then we have the queen of the 7 kingdoms. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
So that was pretty cool. But then the really interesting thing, this is how I know Sansa's grown up so much, because nobody thinks about the economics of Game of Thrones, because Sansa was like, hey, anyways, how are we gonna feed all of these people you just fucking brought to Winterfell?
Yeah.
How did they even fit? Where are the Unsullied sitting right now? Like, are they just all like scattered around the city?
Right.
Around Winterfell?
Jon didn't think about that before he brought the whole tribe back to the fucking
Jon
Winterfell.
is pussy whipped right now. He's really pussy whipped. Like, you can even tell. Like, you know what I mean? He's like googly eyes all over Dany. They're all over each other right now. He's not even thinking about that. But thank God we have Sansa. Did I ever realize I was gonna say that? thank God we have Sansa.
Who knew?
To be like,
Who knew?
how are we gonna feed these people? We have
Turning
the
out to be
Unsullied
the
and we have 2
smartest
fucking dragons.
motherfucker.
What the hell do dragons even eat? And then Dany claps back because Dany was being nice the entire time, but Sansa was being a cold-hearted bitch.
No, Dany
So she
wasn't
was
even being that
whatever
nice.
they want.
I disagree in that too. I feel like Dany really, was patronizing a bit in her tone. When she was like, the North is as beautiful as your brother said it was, as though you. That's basically her saying like, yeah, bitch, I got your brother and he's the king in the North, so that means I'm your queen because he said I'm the queen.
He bent the knee to her.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's what that tone was, and Sansa picked up
It's
on
a lot
that.
of sarcasm.
That's where exactly. That's why there was a lot of tension between them. You know what I mean? Because and even in the, I don't mean to progress so much forward, but I just want to while I'm on the idea, even when they were by the lake, or before that, when she said, "How is she? Your sister doesn't like me. How is she going to I'm her queen?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that moment to me was just so, oh my god, like Daenerys has said she's her queen.
Wait,
like,
that's the scene where she's like, did you bend the knee to protect us, or did you bend the knee because you loved her?
No, that's when Sansa and Jon were talking. I'm talking about when Jon and Daenerys were talking, and Daenerys was like, "Your sister doesn't like me."
Oh, and then she's like, "She didn't like me.
She
either
doesn't
when
like
growing up."
Northern." Yeah, and then she's like, "Well, how's she gonna bend her knee to I'm her queen?" Jon ain't say shit. If I remember correctly, when she said I'm her queen, that's when he got cut off. That's when they got cut off by the Dothraki. When they came back, it was like, "Yo, the dragons ain't eating."
Yeah,
That moment was very crucial because Dany is, she's establishing her position. Like she's letting, him as well as Sansa a little more, underlyingly know that she's the HBIC. Like, you know what I mean? So
then we go into next scene after that was Tyrion and Sansa reunion.
Yeah.
So last time they saw each other was Joffrey's death.
Right.
Right. And then Sansa dipped out on him. And it's funny because that's what he brings up. But she's like, "Hey, I apologize for leaving like that." And he's like, "Yeah, no problem. You just fucking left me there and put me on trial and just made it seem like I killed Joffrey. Like, yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, cool. Right. You can leave anytime." And then Tyrion's like, "Yeah, no, don't worry. We got Cersei coming in. She said she's gonna bring her army, the Golden Company, right? She got 20,000 men." And then even Sansa was like, "You really believe that Cersei is gonna come and fight for us?" And he's like, "Yeah, she told me." And then she's just like, "You are a fucking idiot. Like, are you serious? Like, you of all people should know what Cersei is like.
Yeah.
I've went through this bullshit with Cersei, which is why I don't even trust anything she said that comes out of her mouth.
Right.
And you believe her?"
Right.
And then that's when she's like, "I used to think you were the cleverest man." And then she leaves, and then Tyrion looks down, and Bran's just staring at him.
Do you think they're in cahoots, Tyrion and Cersei? I heard that potentially.
In good? Oh, meaning he's helping her out?
Yeah.
And going behind Jon's back?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I've heard that theory.
I'll be honest. I don't remember exactly how their conversation ended after the little big meeting at Dragonstone.
Oh, well, that's the reason why not to bring up my barber because he's not fucking here, but I can speak on his.
Because it cut off. I don't think they ended a conversation.
That's what he said. He was like, I think it cut off just because everything that needed to be said was already said. He thinks it cut off because the conversation that was to be had is not one that needs to be referenced now, but will be referenced later. And
I don't know because I know Tyrion. The thing is, we know Tyrion knows Cersei is a tyrant.
Yeah.
So, which is the reason why he wouldn't want to help her out. I don't think they're planning anything because Tyrion understands.
Okay.
The overall threat is White Walkers. I'm not gonna help because Cersei's crazy. Like Cersei because remember Qyburn goes up to her and she's like, "Hey, the fucking ice dragon, the army just broke through the wall," and she's like, "Good." Even Qyburn was probably like, "You're gonna fucking die. I'm gonna take the mountain and I'm gonna dip with him and you're dead."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like Tyrion knows that Cersei's fucking crazy and she's gonna fucking die. Or something like that, right? So I can understand that Tyrion knows, we're here to fight the White Walkers. I'm on Jon's side. I'm on Daenerys' side. Why would I want to go and help out Cersei when I have Daenerys and 2 dragons?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who would even want to work for Cersei right now?
No, yeah.
She doesn't have anything. She has men.
Right.
Men are not going to protect you against an army of the dead. There's 100,000 army of the dead, and then she only has 20,000. She's like, woo! Like, we lit! You know what I mean? It's like, nah, bro, you dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, I don't think though.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't think
Tyrion's
so.
gonna
I
help
just
her
thought it was an
out. No.
interesting take. I thought it was interesting.
As stupid as he is for thinking that Cersei's gonna help, I think
you don't
he's
think
pretty
he's
smart
playing
to,
for the other side?
Yeah, I think he would be smart enough to know that going behind Jon and Dany's back when they have unsullied Dothraki and 2 dragons, you're just an idiot if you're going to that.
Right.
If you're going to Cersei. Then we have Jon and Arya reunion. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The last time they saw each other was giving Needle, and then Jon goes to the Night's Watch willingly, which is still stupid. It's like, why would Jon want to go there? I guess because he felt like he was exiled in the family. His mom didn't like him.
He's the
Sansa
black
didn't
sheep.
like him.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. He was like, oh, like, did you use Needle at all? And then she was like, yeah, once or twice, And he pulls out his sword, trying to be, make her jealous. But she was like, bro, you don't even know what the fuck I've been through. Like, this sword don't mean shit to me.
No
I got faces in the back, I got faces in the back. All right, cool. But that's really it. That's really all it was. Right. Oh yeah, and then I think they had a little conversation about like Dany and Sansa not liking each other. And then Arya says, Sansa doesn't like your queen. And then Jon was like, yeah, but like, she didn't really like me either, coming up.
Yeah.
And then Jon was like, you're really backing her up here. Like, I thought you guys were always pit each other, fight against each other. But she's like, no, like, I think Sansa's when I first saw this scene, I was like, damn, yo, why is Arya getting so serious? Like, Jon's just making a joke. You know what I mean? But she was like, no, seriously, like, she's the smartest girl I know, smartest woman I know. And she's just mad that you bent the knee to this queen and you're like basically turning your back on the North. Like, I thought you were for the North and now you're bending a knee to the Targaryen girl. Right. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So she was like, it's just stupid because we're looking out for our family first. We only have 4 of us: Bran, Arya, Sansa, Jon. So like, it's just kind of weird that you're bending the knee to this foreign girl. Yeah, and we're just trying to defend the family. And I thought that was so cool because it just shows how much Arya has grown into a young woman. Yeah, and it's just showing how much Sansa has grown into a queen that I think she rightfully deserves to be. And the next scene was the Cersei and Qyburn thing. She's like, "Good, you're dead, bitch." And then Euron and Yara, Euron has Yara captured. I didn't care about that scene.
There's nothing to talk about because in the same fucking episode, she gets rescued.
Exactly.
Which is so crazy. That I'm not going to let go. Because that was very, very, very
exactly. Unexpected. I don't care about anything with Euron. I don't care about Euron.
No,
I don't care about Yara either.
He's playing, they've proven to have I wouldn't go as far as to say crucial, but, a significant role in in this entire thing, and you have to care about Euron because if there was no Euron, honestly, Cersei wouldn't be as interesting. Because these days, I mean, if she didn't have him bringing the army, if she didn't have him creating that dynamic, she would kind of just be like nobody. And plus, Euron, created that little bit of friction between, her and Jaime, if you really think about it. You know what I mean? Once he came around and Jaime saw him, there was another dick in the picture. It kind of spiced things up a little bit. So Euron definitely has a very, very valuable place for sure. Yeah. And I think it shows no signs of slowing down, especially with the fact, we're gonna get into it, but
right.
Euron plays a crucial role for sure.
Okay, cool. And then what's the very next scene after that was Cersei and Euron. So, Euron says, hey, listen, I just brought the Golden Company. We got this whatever that guy's name is, the leader of the army. And they're like, she's like, oh yeah, how many people have you brought? And they're like, oh, we got 20,000 men. She's lit. And then she's like, yeah, what about the elephants? They're like, we couldn't get any elephants. We can't bring them on a ship.
Elephants can't swim?
Not even swim. It's like, how are we going to carry elephants on a fucking ship? Right. Like, they're heavy as shit. Right. She's like, oh, that's disappointed. I kind of paid for elephants. Yeah. She's like, I seen that scene. I'm like, yo, we got 7 seasons of amazing Emmy-winning dialogue. And then we got this bullshit of Cersei complaining about elephants. I'm like, what is this? Like, what is going on? Like, are the directors not taking this shit seriously or something?
No, that was very, that was put in for a reason. I think that you see, I think in that moment, you really see, as...
Humor?
No, there's nothing humorous about that. Or at least that's not how I interpret it. I think that, for somebody such as Cersei who, comes off and actually is a crazy fucking tyrant, you see in that moment that even she deep, somewhere deep down knows that she's outnumbered and that she has a fucking uphill battle. So when she's saying,
she was hoping that elephants were gonna help somewhat.
I mean, they have dragons.
Yeah.
She needs, a little more than men. You know what I mean? So like,
I get that.
She was not playing. That's why she was like, "Yo, it's interesting," because I remember asking for fucking elephants too. You know what I mean? Like
she's being assertive. If anything.
Because she needs anything right now.
That
you know
is
what I
true.
mean? Any and
they
everything.
couldn't bring it. I get that now. I get that.
You know what I mean? Like that was not there was nothing comedic about that. You know what I mean? And you see the frustration in her face because she knows that she needs something.
Anything and everything other than just men.
Yeah.
Give me something.
Yeah.
Give me wolves.
20,000 men isn't going to do anything when one fire-breathing dragon can go create a strafe of fire and go through half of them.
Yeah, so that's the thing is like, what's in her mind? Like, what is she more worried about? Fighting the dragons or fighting the White Walkers? Because she doesn't care about. It's so funny that she saw a live zombie in her face and she was like, yeah, they could go fight those things. Like, I'm waiting for them all to like die and then I'll take care of the rest. It's like, what is going through her mind? Like, when she says, I want elephants, is she thinking like, I need elephants to be able to fight Dany when she's left off after the war, or is she worrying about fighting the White Walkers?
She said it herself. She said, you guys go, battle it out.
Yeah.
We'll deal with the winner.
Yeah. So those elephants could help a lot, but they couldn't.
She gonna have a line of elephants at the gates of King's Landing waiting for whoever pops up.
Yeah, and then we have our amazing line, which is, you want a whore, buy one. You want a queen, earn her. But I had a funny meme that I put up on Instagram where it was like, it's like, you want a whore, buy one. You want a queen, wait 30 seconds. Yo, I swear to God, I was so shocked she gave him pussy. But I understand it now.
Because
she needs the loyalty. She needs the
same
loyalty.
thing with the elephants. The desperation. She's desperate. And she won't convey it and say, I'm fucking desperate. But her actions. Do you think that same Cersei in season 4 would have gave the pussy to Euron? Absolutely fucking not.
No.
You know? It's just, it's apparent that she knows that she's very outnumbered right now. But even with her knowing, you see, and that's why Lena Headey, the actress, is just, because
she's amazing.
You see that even, the obviousness of her, like, fuck, like, I'm outnumbered, she still has this stern demeanor. And that's what can easily, it can be misinterpreted that she really just thinks that she's fine, but you can see that juxtaposition is what I'm saying.
She's freaking out on the inside.
On the inside, you can see it. Even though on the outside, it's not apparent.
Yeah.
How is she able to, have both present? Right. You could just, that's what you call an actress.
So the way I saw, because at first I was like, why did she just give him pussy? I don't get that. This is Cersei who looked at Euron as a joke. But now I get it. It's like, even he said it. He was like, yo, like, I brought you a fucking army. I went out there, brought you the Golden Company. Like, how much more loyal do you want me to be? And I'm just asking for a little bit of affection.
Because she doesn't want it. She doesn't want it. She thinks that that's why she doesn't even, I honestly think that, obviously.
No, right. But that's what I'm saying is like, that's why I finally understood why she gave him pussy. It was because it's like, I just need to keep his loyalty and I'll do whatever it takes. If he just wants some pussy, I'll give him some pussy.
Yeah.
If that's going to keep his loyalty for me and get me more people and fight for me, that's what So yes, it is desperation.
Yeah.
Because she has nobody right now. Even her Jamie left.
Fleed.
So she doesn't. She has Qyburn, a mountain, and this guy. And this guy's been fucking, he brought her all these things, and she's like, fuck it, whatever. If it's going to shut you up, I'll give you some pussy.
Right.
And that's what it is. And then, but he is pretty cocky, though. He's very cocky.
Big time.
To be like that with Cersei, touching her belly and being like, I'm going to put a prince in your belly. And then that little look she gives, which is like, what is that supposed to mean? Did we lose the baby, or do we still have the baby in there?
No. It's very obvious.
That she still has the baby.
Yeah, you didn't pick up on that. She's going to tell him that that's his child.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And but a lot of people are like thinking like, but she's drinking wine. It's like, bro, medieval times, they don't give a fuck. They don't know that wine is bad for you. They don't care. Yeah.
They don't have doctors like drinking while pregnant can cause fucking lymphomia, all these fucking medical terms that I don't know how to pronounce and shit. Like, they don't give a fuck. Yeah, they also fuck their siblings. So Yeah.
Yeah, no, they don't care about no wine. But yeah, then we have the next scene, which is Bronn at the brothel. Bronn in the brothel, and all these girls You don't like Braun? I think Braun is cool.
Nah,
but
not anymore.
his scene.
No, after this, I stopped liking Braun. I liked him up until this episode.
Really?
Yes.
So let's go through it and then tell me why though. So he's talking to the girls. I'm not gonna call them whores, even though that's what they are. Sorry, I respect women here. No comment. But yeah, he's talking to the girls and they're like fascinated about this other guy, and then he's like, I'm the only guy that's actually shot a dragon, and they're like, yeah, I don't know. Show me the receipts, bro.
Yeah.
Picture or video or it didn't happen. And then Qyburn cuts in and he just shows up randomly. He's just kind of there. He's like a Braun. I mean, he's like a Bran. He just popped up.
Right.
And then he's like, listen, look, Cersei's got a mission for you. Like, if Tyrion and Jaime are alive, I want you to kill them. And he gives him the crossbow that Tyrion uses to kill Tywin.
Right.
And so now he has a mission. So now I think it's interesting that Braun has some sort of relevance in the show purpose, because it's like, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna take the chest of gold over friendship? Because you have to understand, he has a pretty good relationship with both of these people. Obviously Tyrion, because he likes Tyrion, he worked for him, but it's like that's where the question comes in. Was he loyal to Tyrion? Does he really like Tyrion, or was it because Tyrion was just paying him? And then Jaime, Jaime and him have some sort of a relationship because they went to Dorne together, and then he helped Jaime fight with his left hand, taught him a little bit. But it's like, was he doing all this for money? Like, does he really care about these two? Yeah. So that's what the question is going to come up. Yeah. It's like, is he going to shoot them for money? Yeah. Or is he going to be like, no, I actually like these two guys, and I might actually leave her and leave Cersei and go fight for them.
Right. Well,
so we don't know that.
Yeah, I say I don't like him because Cersei, asked Qyburn to summon him for a reason, because he would even contemplate it, which was enough of an issue for me. Yeah. Because I think that I understood up to this point. Look, whoever's paying him, he's basically an assassin. He gets paid.
Yeah, he's a headhunter.
Yeah, exactly. He gets paid to do whatever tasks that are asked of him. Which
if
is
that's
fine.
the case, he's gonna die.
Which is fine. Yeah, I mean,
if that's the case, if he only cares about the money, he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And I think that's my bigger issue with him right now. The loyalty a little bit. You know what I mean? Because in this instance, where before he was just killing random people, now we're talking, people that he actually spent time with.
Yeah.
So like the fact that he even contemplated, which I think was apparent in that moment, and not only that, but Cersei only asked him because she knows that he would probably do it. Is what made me kind of, retract a little bit on how I felt about him.
Not only that, I don't even think it's that she asked him mainly because she knows he would do it.
Yeah.
She asked him mainly because she knows he's the only person that Jaime and Tyrion wouldn't expect to kill them.
I could
but
see
like
that
I said,
for sure.
Like I said,
for sure.
If he does do it for the money, he's gonna fucking die. Because Game of Thrones has a really cool way of like having these deep meanings of like what's more important to you, loyalty or money, and then people that choose money ultimately die, and then they realize like, fuck, I shouldn't be chasing the money or whatever. But then if Bronn does go on the loyalty side and actually fights for Jaime, I think he's gonna live. It's gonna be one of those things that like if his purpose in life is for the friendships and actually fighting for these guys, he's gonna live. But if it's for the money, he's gonna fucking die. Next scene is Yara and Reek. I don't even know what the fuck Reek's real name is anymore. Theon, sorry. I just say Reek. So, yeah, Reek comes to, save Yara, and then she headbutts him because she's like, you are a fucking pussy. Right. You literally left me when Euron captured me like an idiot, like a freaking bitch. Right. Now you're going to save me. But yeah, that was a pretty interesting, not really interesting. I don't really care for Yara and Reek like that, but she was like, you want to go back to Winterfell to fight for them, for the Starks. And he's like, yeah, honestly, that's what I want to do. I want to redeem myself. Like, that's what my purpose. And I think that's what it is. All these characters, these supporting characters and the major characters, they're all finding some sort of purpose in this show, in life. His purpose, Theon's purpose, is to go back to Winterfell and fight for the Starks. Yara's probably going to take over the Iron Islands, which is, I think, what they both wanted. And that's cool. That's probably where they're going to end up.
Fine.
And then, what is it? So then we have Jon and Dany. So now they're like googly eyes all over each other. And then this is the scene where she's like, your sister doesn't like me. And then he's like, Sansa didn't really like me either when we were young. And then Dany's like, she doesn't need to be friends, but I am her queen though. You know what I mean? So, if she can't respect me, then... and then they don't say
before
anything.
They got cut off, because that's foreshadowing that that continuous. Well, I don't know how continuous it's going to be because we only have so much time. Yes, but that's obviously a huge plot line.
Yeah,
Dany Sansa not liking each other, Jon in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah. What does that
And
say?
Sansa,
What does that say about Jon?
And
It's like,
Sansa
bro,
also represents the North. So
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
you know, more importantly, Dany, the entire North, Jon in the middle.
yeah, and then that should really ask, and Jon should be asking himself is like, yo, am I really like? And that's a great thing that Sansa even asks is like, yo, are you on our side,
Yeah.
the family side? Like, are you looking out for your sisters, or are you gonna be looking out for just some girl that
Yeah.
you're in love with? Like,
Foreign
what's more
chick,
important
right.
to you right now?
Right.
Then they go on the dragon, and he's like, I never rode a dragon before, and she's like, nobody really knows until they ride a dragon. And then he's like, what does he say? He's like, what if they don't want me to ride them?
Yeah,
and then
well,
she's like,
yeah.
well, I've enjoyed your company, Jon Snow. That was pretty cool. Visual effects are crazy. Those dragons are insane.
Moving on up.
Amazing. We
Sure.
got $1 million budgets
There
for
you
each
go. You took
episode.
the words right out of my mouth.
We got $1 million budget.
right out of my
And then, but the really interesting part about that scene is that they show up to this cave waterfall, and then she says, we could be here for 1,000 years, nobody would find us, and that's
Reference
exactly what
to
Ygritte
Ygritte.
said.
Right, that's what I thought that was.
And even the cave thing, I don't know if they made love. They probably fucked. They probably made love over there.
Ygritte, they did fucking.
No, not
Oh,
Ygritte.
Jon and Dany.
Jon and Dany at the
And
cave.
see, so I'm glad that you validated that for me because I thought it was a reference to Ygritte, but then I said it can't be because like he didn't even like. I know it's been a while. She's been dead. I get it, but
Respect.
respect. But at the same time, like I thought he could have at least been like. Like make a little face or something like, damn, like, that reminds me of Ygritte. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of was just like, not a new girl. You know what I mean? Just,
I think he did, because like
No,
when
not
we
at
see
all.
the waterfall, I thought he was just looking at it and probably thought about that.
no, not at all. There was
You,
no.
you think he forgot about Ygritte? That was his love. He loved that girl.
That's
and then
what
now
I'm
it's like, do
saying.
we really
I
know
know
if he
we
likes
didn't really
her?
need it. We didn't really need it because it's just like, like it's not like the wound is fresh. Like she's been dead for a hot minute now. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, we don't expect him to be mourning over her forever.
right.
But,
But I think that the specific usage of the wording and the location, like it can't help but
at least give us something to know that he's still thinking about
do
her.
you think that foreshadowing? Maybe like she said that like the same way that like Ygritte did and Ygritte died.
Yeah, it could be. That could be Jon's little thing. Is like any girl he ever gets with, they die. But is it gonna be like Ollie shooting Dany? That scene is so funny to me because he's literally like staring at Ygritte, and then Ollie shoots her, and then he looks up and Ollie's like, "I got you, bro." He's like, "No, I don't want that." Like, you idiot. That's a funny ass scene.
That was.
I do think Dany's gonna die, bro. I do think so. I just don't know how, but I know she's gonna die somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Either by Jon, either by the White Walkers, either by her dragon. Something meaningful, something where it's like,
Yeah,
oh my god,
makes
it's not gonna
sense.
be like her, like literally the army of the dead just catches it. No, it's gonna be something really big.
Yeah.
Her death, which is obvious. She's a freaking main character.
Right.
Do you want to talk about Arya seeing the Hound and Gendry? I didn't know Arya and Gendry were into each other. I seriously didn't know that they flirted with each other like that.
Yeah, remember because
I didn't know that.
Remember they were both at was it Hardhome
No,
or the
I mean,
place?
Harrenhal.
Harrenhal, thank you.
Yeah.
They were both at Harrenhal, they were chopping it up,
Yeah.
all of them. That was before the Red Woman popped up and was like him. And then, that's when Arya was like, yo, chill, that's my friend. And then she was like, too bad.
But
And
even
then-
back then, I didn't know that Arya was into them. Like that when I saw them flirting, and then when I watched some theory predictions, everybody is like, "Oh, Arya and Gendry like each other." I'm like, I didn't see that shit. I thought they were just friends. And then now she's like flirting with him and shit.
I
It's
mean,
kinda awkward.
I don't think that she was like flirting with him per se. I just think like, they're just touching on like how far they've both come and kind of like, just
I don't
bouncing
know.
off
I
each
thought
other.
it was flirting because he
No,
was
because
like,
I know they do like each other, but like what I'm trying to say is their relationship hasn't changed. Like it was the same relationship then. It's just a more mature one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it, not like flirting, like yo, what's good? What you doing tonight? But you see that underlying like not sexual tension with them, but like if
they got like a mini crush that they don't want to say.
Yes, because
they just have a tiny crush on each other.
because they have bigger fish to fry. Arya has to get rid of that list. And
I just think it's kind of
yeah.
weird because it's like Gendry met Arya when she was like a little girl,
Yeah.
so it's like, eh.
Yeah, but he's
You know, like,
probably like a few years older than her though. Nothing too crazy.
no, not even that. It's like I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
having
weird.
a crush on like a 12-year-old, but what if he was like 16, like
Yeah,
5
he's
years?
probably younger.
Yeah, you know what I mean. As long as he's under, there's no rules. They
don't care.
They
They're
fuck.
fucking each other's family members. They don't give nothing.
Family members
It's like,
fuck.
It's like, bro, I'm 18, you're 12. Fuck it,
Yeah.
bro. Like, as long
He's
as we're
like,
not
hey,
related, that's
that-
not, yeah.
that ain't bad.
I don't care.
That ain't bad.
Yeah. Yeah, then it goes into John and Sansa's little argument. You know, she's like, did you bend the knee to save the North or because you love her?
I will.
And John couldn't even answer that. John's been lucky with these cutoffs. Because, like, Danny was asked him a question, and then Sansa asked him a question, and then it cuts off. It's like, yo, you're so lucky, bro. Like, when do you ever get lucky like that where
Yeah, he
the
ain't
scene
gotta
just cuts
answer
off where
them.
you don't got to answer
You
shit?
ain't gotta answer none of them questions.
One of the best scenes was Sam.
Yeah.
I love Sam so much, bro.
Yeah.
I love Sam. But yeah, so, you know, Danny comes in mainly to tell Sam, you know, thank you for saving Jorah,
Right.
da da da. And then Sam is like, he was like, hey, I just need a pardon, you know, because I stole some books from the Citadel. It's like, bro, you're such a bitch. But it's like adorable though.
Such Sam things.
Yeah,
to
such
be
a
worried
Sam
about.
thing. He's adorable. Like honestly, if he died, like I would cry because he's such a nice kid.
Yeah.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah,
but
he
yeah,
never did nothing to nobody.
no, seriously, yeah. And but yeah, he's like, I need a pardon because you know I stole some books and because I stole my dad's Valyrian sword and from the Tarly house. And she's like, you don't mean Randall Tarly,
She's like-
right? And he's like, yeah, you know him. She's like, yeah, listen, like you know, I gave him the option to like, I gave him the option to like retain his titles and stuff if he bent the knee. Refused. I had to freaking. She didn't tell him obviously that she burned him alive.
Yeah.
She's like, he refused and
Yeah.
he got it. He was like.
He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he
well,
didn't
at least
care.
my brother, you know,
Yeah.
my brother's still alive. And she's like,
Yeah. Yo, the memes were hilarious with that, bro. Oh my god. But yeah, no. So, yeah, no. But the thing about that scene specifically is that, like, you know, when he heard that his dad died, he was like, oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
at least I can go back
his
to
dad
the
treated
home.
him like shit. So.
Yeah, but you could tell he loved his brother,
Oh,
though.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
He loved Dickon. Yeah, so you could tell he loved Dickon. And then when he heard his brother die too, he lost it, bro.
Yeah.
He lost it.
That was hard for him, for sure.
Then he goes to tell John all of this, and
The
he's
big
like,
reveal.
he's like, you don't know. But when he said you don't know, he was talking about both things. He was talking about his parentage, his heritage, and also you know Danny killing his father. So that's the thing that made me mad about at John because Sam was like, you didn't know that Danny killed my parents and stuff,
Yeah.
and then John was like,
I'm sorry.
he was like, I'm sorry, but yo, it had to be done.
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
he
oh,
had to-
I've killed people too.
but then Sam was like, but you saved people too, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I get that, but like, you don't have to kill everybody to be a fucking king.
Yeah.
You're a king because you save people and you let people off a lot of the time.
Yeah,
you
I wish
give them second chances.
I do wish Sam would have saw the situation a little bit more realistically, or at least he would have been there. Because honestly, that with that instance, like I wasn't really that mad at Danny. I really wasn't because Randall Tarly was really, really, really coming a little crazy.
Yeah, you think he would have like if she spared him, he would have went to Cersei's side. That's probably what she was thinking, right? That's what Danny was thinking is like, yo, if I let Randall go, he might freaking team up with Cersei and try to kill me later. So that's
No,
why she let him-
Randall was already with Cersei. He's part of the Lannister.
Oh yeah,
troops.
right. That's why. Yeah,
But
he
just
was with
more
you.
so, he was just like, listen, I already bowed the knee. I ain't bowing it again. Like, come on, man. This shit, yeah, you know what I mean? Just being a little bit extra, honestly. I think in this universe, we should know by now, you bend the knee to whoever is in front of you that's threatening to kill you, period. You know what I
for
mean?
real.
So, like, you trying to play big and bad, well, guess what? I got you killed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest, like, not that I'm not the biggest Daenerys fan. I mean, I like her, then I don't, then I like her. And in that instance, I did not blame her at all for killing Randall Tarly.
I mean, okay, fine. I don't blame her, but I mean, I'm not mad at Danny for doing that. I'm just mad at John for freaking standing up for Danny. It's like, bro, Sam is your best friend, and Sam is over here
Right.
telling you that she killed his parents, and you're just like,
You
she gotta do
don't
what she gotta do.
Console him a little bit. You're
Yeah,
right.
like that's so stupid.
I
It's
agree
like,
with
bro,
you.
come on, you're so pussy whipped. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And but that was a good transition because he was like, yo, you spared people too. You're the true king. Like, you know, you don't have to kill people to showcase that you're a true king, and
Yeah.
you're the king of the North. I mean, you're the king of the Seven Kingdoms. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, you don't know? Like, he's like, yo, you're the king of the Seven Kingdoms. Like, you know, the protector of the realm, all that fun stuff. You are Aegon Targaryen. So the first thing that he thinks about is, so my dad lied to me, and he was like, no, but like he lied to protect you. Like that's what he was always doing.
Right.
And then he was like, yeah, but Dany's our queen. Like that's treason. Sam says like, yeah, but it's true. Like you
Yeah,
gave
would
up your
she
crown.
give up her crown?
Yeah, you gave up your crown to save the people. Would she do the same? Did it get cut off again? Yo, John getting lucky with these cutoffs, bro.
When he's in the hot seat, he ain't gotta worry about that shit, bro.
He's like that Magic Johnson who's like, I'm not gonna be here. Yo, he's been getting lucky 3 times. He got lucky with these cutoffs, bro.
Same, bro.
But that's a good question. Is like, yo, like, it's would she do the same? You know, where does her loyalty stand? Like, how would that really go off, right? Let's just think about that, because it's gonna come up. It's gonna be where he goes up to Dany. He's like, listen, like, I'm Aegon Targaryen. First of all, let's walk past the fact that we're fucking and you're my aunt.
Right.
But I don't even think that's what they're gonna even think about.
No, not really.
I know there's gonna be like a little moment where they're gonna be like, ew.
I don't even know.
But they're not even gonna focus on that. They're gonna be focusing on...
I don't even know if they'll have that, because this is serious shit.
Yeah.
This is very serious.
But knowing this first episode had some humor, I know there's gonna be there's gonna be a nod to it where they're gonna be like,
no,
ew.
Somebody.
But then they're gonna go right back to
somebody else will.
Oh yeah.
Jon and Dany though, no.
Who do you think is gonna say it?
Maybe
it's
like
gotta be a character, like a funny character.
Maybe like Varys or something. Like Varys gonna have like a funny way of saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but honestly, I was talking about that too, and I was just trying to figure out how that would go over well, dude, and how that would go over, and it's not gonna go over well.
Yeah.
With Daenerys. She's not having it. She's not gonna fucking have it, bro.
But
she did not march through all, Volantis, here, there, breaking chains, all this shit, getting raped, just to, find out that, Jon is actually the rightful heir.
That's what I'm thinking about right now, is like, how
she's not.
Do you think Jon's gonna be so heartbroken to hear Dany be like, yeah, listen, I'm not bending the knee to you, and if you're gonna be an enemy to me, fuck it. That's gonna show Jon be like, yo, I thought I loved you. I thought we liked each other.
No, but then the conflict is the conflict is gonna rise even more, because I don't even think he's gonna take it as personally. I think that, at least if he's gonna be logical, that you can't expect that of her now. She came all this way. Remember in season 1, the dragons was this big. They big now. This was a long time coming.
Yeah.
So, for her to just throw that all away, just, for something that was revealed right before the Night King's about to knock on the door, it's like too little too late.
Yeah.
Maybe if you told her in like season 4, when she was halfway on the journey, she would have been like...
She's a queen, yo. And honestly, like you just said, she went through so much shit.
Yeah.
She's not gonna fucking bend the knee to you. Like,
no.
As much as like...
And she's
just gonna be mature and like... And Jon might get hurt, but ultimately, if you're mature enough, you'll understand that, like, yo, she went through hell. Yeah. Her fucking purpose in life is to get her ass sat on that Iron Throne.
Right.
And I don't care if you're Aegon Targaryen, bro. This is what I'm doing. So that whole conflict is going to be very interesting to see. Very fucking interesting. Yes. I'm waiting to see that. I don't even care about the whole fact that they're aunt and whatever fucking and I don't care about that, because they are gonna be like,
we've become
that conflict
desensitized
is gonna tell us
to family
everything.
fucking.
If Dany fucks with Jon like that, or if she's gonna be I don't know what the word is, not crazy, but like just like if she's gonna turn her back on everybody and be like, yo, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
If you guys think you're gonna take the crown over me and then make her go crazy.
Yeah. Honestly, I think she's gonna be like, look, you want me to bend the knee? It's not happening. And if you don't want to, retain your position, I'm gonna take my dragons and I'm gonna fly to King's Landing myself and start burning shit.
Yeah, I mean, she has Dothraki.
She brought
and 2 dragons.
She brought her army here because she thought the doubling of their army would, help her cause even more. She's gonna help him, and she also said she would also help them fight the Night King. But now he's going back on all of that, and she's not gonna take that very lightly. Yeah. She's gonna threaten him with taking all of her troops, which is basically all of their army now, and saying, I'll go to King's Landing my damn self.
But knowing Jon though, Sam is saying, you're the true king. You deserve the crown. Jon doesn't care about that stuff, though. No. There's so many memes where it's like, Jon's always offered something. Like, they're like, no, we want Jon to be the Lord Commander. And he's like, no, I don't want to. And they're like, no, you are. And then they're like, yes, he's the king of the North. He's like, I don't really want to be that. And they're like, no, you are. You know what I mean? And then now Sam is pinning this, like, you are the true heir to the Iron Throne. And he's probably going to be like, honestly, bro, I don't want it. That's where there's going to be more conflict with Sansa and them, because Jon's gonna be like, yeah, I don't care about the crown, so yeah, whatever. Dany can have it. And then Sansa's gonna be like, no, bro, you should take it. look out for the family. If you take this Iron Throne, that means we're all gonna be a big like royal family.
No, more importantly than that, they're gonna look at the fact that he's the more rightful heir, and he still doesn't want it. They're gonna be like, "Yo, are you serious?"
Yeah.
Bro? You know what I mean? They're gonna look at him a little different because they're just going. It's just gonna support their cause even more. That he's Team Daenerys and he's not Team the North.
Right.
So because realistically speaking, I mean, it could go off either
So
way.
Jon's fucked either way.
Either way,
he's fucked either way because even if he says I want the crown, she's gonna be like, well, all the Northern men are gonna be like, well, you're turning our back against us. Like you're supposed to be the king of the North. You're supposed to be this honorable guy. You're supposed to be the Ned Stark. But then if he doesn't take the crown, he's going to give it to Dany, and then they're going to be like, yo, fuck you.
He's done.
And then watch, they're going to cut the scene. They're not even going to let him answer the question.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think he's dead,
he'd be
bro.
lucky with that shit.
He's dead. I think he's dead. He's literally fucked either way.
Yo, he's fucked.
Yeah.
All right, then we have the next scene with Tormund, Dondarrion, and the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Stay back, he has blue eyes." Like, I've always had blue eyes.
Great moment.
That was funny.
Great moment.
And then they see Lord Umber, who you saw in the beginning of the episode. I'm assuming he was sent to go get his people to bring to Winterfell, and then he got stuck with the Night King.
Yeah, Night King.
Which shows you how close the Night King is. That was like a kind of a nod to show you how close he is to Winterfell.
That's really what it was.
But that scene was cool because you don't get a lot of jump scares. That wasn't really. I mean, I don't get scared like that, right?
But it was unexpected.
It was a pure horror scene, and you don't get that often. And the only other, I swear to God, the only other pure horror scene I could think of was the first episode when they're walking past the wall, and then the three guys, and then he looks back, and then the thing. One of the White Walkers stands up and kills him right in front of him, and that was like a pure horror scene and stuff. A lot of people are talking about what does that the ring represent. They think it's supposed to represent the Targaryen sigil because it's like it looks like a dragon.
People just be thinking.
I don't think it's that, but there should be but just I want to know about that weird ritual thing that White Walkers do with the horses and the people and then cutting them up and putting them in circles. That's cool. The Weirwood tree has that too. Like there was like a scene in one of Bran's visions where he looks from an aerial shot of the tree, and then there's a spiral like of these dots, and then even when they when Jon and Dany go into Dragonstone and they find all the dragon glass, and then they see those carved paint like scriptures, and then they had the dots all over that too. So same thing. If we understand who the Night King is, his motives, we might also understand what that spiral is.
Understood.
And all that. Or they don't even have enough time to answer those questions. They're gonna be like, "Yo, fuck it, just wait for the book."
Or you know who it is. That's kind of how I took it. You saw the spiral. You know what I mean. You knew that it wasn't anybody other than the Night King. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think that everything needs to be super deep because
And
I think the directors and writers, they've picked up on all the theories and all the people thinking themselves into fucking comas, and they're like, "Oh, word, you guys think this is gonna happen? Bet."
Yep.
And then they're gonna fuck us up.
And then the last scene was the Jaime pulling up to Winterfell. So right before Sam is going to Jon, Bran's like, "You got to tell him." And then Sam's like, "What are you doing anyway? Like, why are you just chilling here?" He's like, "I'm waiting for an old friend." Which is crazy. I was like, I did not think about that. I was like, old friend, like, who the fuck could he be talking about?
Right. It wasn't until the second time I rewatched it that I realized he was talking about Jaime.
Yeah. Wait, really?
Yeah.
You didn't even
I'm waiting for an old friend. He was waiting for...
You didn't notice the first time?
I was also...
Oh. Who do you think it was then? It was you just saw Jaime, you're like, "Oh shit, it's Jaime."
Yeah.
And the episode ends.
I just thought it was a reunion,
When I saw that reaction on his face was priceless, bro. Because he just looked and he was like, "Oh, fuck." Like, you know what I mean? He just all of that just put two and two into his head. But yeah, so how do you think that's gonna play out? It's stupid because if you've seen the trailer for the second episode, he's obviously put on trial. Yeah. So that was pretty stupid. I don't know why they showed that. I really wanted to see what was gonna happen.
I mean, I think it's pretty. I mean, to see it, like I get where you're at, but I think that's one of those things that's like very obvious, in a sense, because Jaime's not going to be mingling with people in King's Landing. You know what I mean? I'm not King's Landing, Winterfell. He has to really he has to be in front of those,
So do you think he's on trial because, he's a Lannister, he's Cersei?
No, I don't
they're like, why are you here? I
don't think he's on trial. I think it's the only fitting place for him to be able to,
explain himself?
to be in front of all the people because different people for different reasons don't want to see Jaime, especially alive. Hello, Daenerys. He killed her dad. Number one. Yeah, you should let me know it was fucking. Should let me know it was Winterfell down here. I'm freezing.
Bro, just put on your jacket.
That's fine. I'll just martyr it.
Oh, my question is, do you think Bran... Well, two questions. Do you think Bran knows that Jaime pushed him off the thing?
Of course!
Yes. Do you think Bran told them that?
No, well, that's what we're going to find out in episode 2.
Yeah.
He's going to tell... When Jaime's in front of them, Bran is going to spill, you know, the gossip, finally. You know, I mean, his mouth been closed for so fucking long now, anywho.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they have a line, the trial, as you put it, the line of people that are really just going to really not uncover, but just put everything out there, the reason why they are connected to Jaime. Bran going to reveal that, you know, he pushed him out of the window in the first place. You know, Daenerys going to throw a hissy fit because he killed her fucking dad.
Yes.
Tyrion,
yes.
you know, Tyrion, you know, I mean, not much to be said about that, really.
No, Tyrion killed his dad.
Well, no, but they're past that. They're past that already.
But Jaime probably...
Yeah, I don't know.
He loves Tyrion, but he's not gonna fuck with him for that.
I don't know where my bitch Brienne is, but Brienne and Jaime got unfinished business too. That may happen.
Where did they end off?
When they brought the White Walker, and then Brienne was like, "Did you just see that thing?" And he's like, "Yeah," and then he's like, yeah, my services are, you know, to the queen." She's like, "Fuck the queen."
You think Jaime? I don't understand this whole like their triangle, love triangle, like Jaime, Cersei, and Brienne. Yeah.
Well,
I never thought Jaime and Brienne were into each other like that.
They're
bro.
into each other, 100%. Yeah, and I think that
what moments? Like I'm thinking about them in the hot tub.
I think Brienne would be what Jaime's girl if he wasn't head over heels in love with Cersei.
I don't think he is though. I don't think he's head over heels for Cersei. I think he likes Brienne more.
Are you sick? Head over heels in love with Cersei still, bro. I mean, hello. She basically, you know, before he had left, you know, she said, did you actually think I was going to help them? Are you fucking stupid? He was like, what? Like, all these things, you know, realizing, like, if he didn't realize up until this point what she was in that moment, realized what she was, and still didn't kill her. I mean, really. I mean, he had the balls to, you know, ride off on a horse away from her.
Yeah, but I mean, that's his sister, and they love each other. I don't think he's head. I think if head over heels. I think he's more into Brienne secretly than he is.
No, Brienne would be, his ideal girl if Cersei did not exist.
Right. Okay.
That's the whole thing.
Right.
That's the whole thing. So that's why there's that hesitation, and that's why, I mean, that's really what it is. So they have to kind of iron that out. I think that's very, very, not overdue, but it just has to happen. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. There's all these reunions, like it's easy just to like go right past your head because you have to like. It's like to really remember all these reunions and why it's so massive that these two people just saw each other. It's like you would literally have to watch the entire series in one day to really understand why. Yeah,
the last important. Time,
because nobody remembers.
And those are the ones that we're talking about. There's gonna be somebody that Jaime runs into, when he's on that trial, for example, that we're like, holy shit, I forgot they had beef too. Yeah. It's bound to happen. You know what I mean, for one reason or another. So, and that's why they're moving, and that's why I'm not mad at them for moving the way that they did in the first episode. Because honestly, we are asking a lot of them to tie every loose end, and
there's just so many side stories, because they built it up over the years, but it's like you can't honestly,
like
you can't
Jaime obviously has to see Cersei again,
but I swear to God, bro, I wish they just finished the books. I would sit there, like, if they're not gonna put these details in the show, just put it in the books. You know what I mean? All these mini stories, these mini side stories of all these people, like, put it in the book so I could read it there and then get all, like, explaining like the spiral thing, explaining Bran and him going back in time and finding more shit. Like, nobody. So do we even know that Bran was the one whispering to the Mad King that made him mad? Is that what it is? Is that confirmed? We don't know that. Yeah. Do we know that? No. I don't even know. So who knows? I don't know, man. Overall, though, what did you think about the first episode? You told me. You said it's just reunions. You're trying to get it out of the way. Set up for the second and third. The third episode is supposed to be the big war. Yeah. The second episode is probably going to be
episode
setting up
one
for the war.
Episode as I depicted it to my barber. Episode 1, but with a little je ne sais quoi, if you will. You know what I mean? A little bit more. Not excitement, because not that the first episode wasn't exciting, but they're, you know, like I said, they're building something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What that is, I'm not going to preconceive, because like I said, I don't want anybody to fuck me up. And I know that they're very likely to do that.
Yeah.
So I think this episode is going to really, you know, be the final of those, you know, reunions. This person got beefed, all this stuff. Really, all the establishments of relationships amongst each character before it just starts going haywire.
Mm-hmm.
Because once the Night King shows up, like, there's not enough there's not too much time to be having these conversations.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what Brand's there for, right?
Right. You know what I mean? They're getting all they're getting all the conversations out the way before they can start fighting.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And the second episode is going to do the same thing.
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
conversations, you know what I mean? Really, all the politics.
Yeah.
Before it just starts.
Not even the politics. I think if we're focusing just on Jamie for the second episode, it's like
No,
they're just trying
not
to get.
solely on him.
No. I'm just saying, like, for an example, is like for Jamie, it's like they're just trying to get all of the bad blood out, because they're like, listen, yes, you did this, you did that, but like, let's just clear it now, because we got a fucking thing to deal with right now. You know what I mean? That's really what it is.
Yeah,
it's
but
like we get it. Like, you know, you push Bran off the cliff, but it's like, bro, let's just. You don't think so?
No, well, I say no. Not that what you're saying is wrong, but it's not going to work. Like getting all the the dirty laundry out of there, even with Bran probably trying to
Speed it
neutralize the situation. Because guess what? Daenerys' dad was killed by Jamie. So Daenerys is not going to work with
this whole
Jamie.
thing started. Well, I'm not saying this whole thing, but like her whole exile, going to Essos, coming back to Westeros, was because of Jamie. Jamie killed her dad.
Well, I take that back only because now that I think about it, the first time she did see him was when they all went to King's Landing, and she knew that he killed her then. But
but she didn't say anything.
Yeah, but she didn't say anything to him. So maybe actually I take that back. Maybe she won't kick and scream about the fact that he's in her company now and he did that. She probably will have a conversation with him, or let
I don't
it
think
be
she's gonna be able
known.
to trust him though.
Yeah.
Because they don't know
Right.
that he had to kill his. Because he doesn't. Obviously, even he said, he's like, "Yo, I didn't want to have to kill my king. It's just
Yeah.
like I had to. I was
Yeah, but he
protecting
didn't-
the people."
he hasn't
but
said that
nobody
to a
knows
panel.
that.
Exactly.
Nobody knows that.
Only
All she's
Brienne.
seeing is like, "Yo, you fucking killed my dad." Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That's
Third
gonna
episode is the war. I'm just thinking about how potentially.
Allegedly. Because like I said, you don't want to go into these episodes thinking this is what's going to happen, and then they just suck you up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, they added 20 more minutes to the third episode, so only one can assume. You know what I mean? I've never seen that happen.
I won't say war, but I mean like at the pace
No,
of the
because
White
that's what they
Walkers, where
said.
they
No, but
are.
that's what they said. They said the war was going to be the third episode, but then but then again, like I said, I'm just
They might fuck you up. They might not.
because I didn't think the first episode was going to go in the direction that it headed, and it did.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just like,
What do you think? What do you think that one trailer scene of Arya running in the crypts?
right, you're right. So me and my barber were arguing about that a lot because he was saying that, like, I forgot what he was alluding to, but
What could she be running from?
my biggest thing is that, like, whatever he said that she was running from, I didn't think was actually worth running from. I forgot what he thinks it was.
I mean, she had genuine fear in her face, bro.
My point. I was like, yo, like, what could really shake Arya the way she was shook? You know what I mean? And like, I forgot what he had said, but I don't know if that's, the scene, right before she died. I don't fucking know, but at the same time, I don't think that, that's something that I will allow to go over my head until I see it, because that is what, made me say that, Arya is killable, because we saw firsthand in the trailer that she still has some fear in her heart.
Oh, another little, I guess, they're called Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Of course,
So
right.
I didn't know that for the longest time. But one Easter egg was when Sam told Jon about his parentage and about he was standing right in front of Ned and obviously right next to Lyanna, which is pretty cool.
Well, yeah, no, because they, in season 1, in
First episode.
right, or whatever,
Robert and
first
Ned.
and second, Ned was like when I tell you about your mom, and the next time you see me, I'll be telling you about your mom.
Yeah.
So
And he was right
he was
there in
there
front of
in
him.
spirit, kind of, type of deal.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And then as for the Arya thing, I don't know, man.
Like I said, I don't even want to say, it was that.
I
want to wait.
think it would be stupid and so meaningless if she did die by a White Walker, because it's like
that's
she
not
got
who
died
she
from
killed.
somebody big.
Yeah, but
she got died from somebody she didn't expect.
But that's the same thing with
like Gendry.
That's the same thing with, like, you know, Daenerys. She has to die from somebody big. The Night Dragon is not just gonna come spray some fire and kill. I mean, maybe actually that would be like her child killing her.
Who? What?
Daenerys. I just thought about that.
What? Repeat that. I'm sorry.
Daenerys's dragon kills her child.
Oh yeah. How Daenerys died.
Because I was gonna say, that's kind of lousy for her to be like, you know, lit on fire or something, but like her child killing her.
Yeah.
That would be like, if anybody was to kill Daenerys, I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm. It could be either. It could be Jon or the dragon.
I don't think Jon's gonna kill, because I think it's more likely for Jaime to kill Cersei. So why are we having like Jaime kill Cersei and then Jon killing this? That's too much.
Oh, let's go into that. So in the first episode of the 5th season, it starts with, you know, Cersei seeing Maggie the Frog, that little witch thing. So she said, you know, there's 3 prophecies.
Yeah.
One is she's gonna have 3 kids, which she did. They died.
Yeah.
Second one is you're gonna be a queen. You're gonna be the queen, which she was, Robert Baratheon, and then now, right? And the third one is she's gonna die by the Valonqar. Valonqar is supposed to be little brother, and she has 2 little brothers, Tyrion and Jaime. Which do you think? Because obviously 2 out of the 3 prophecies came true. I'm assuming the third one will come true as well. Do you think it's gonna be Tyrion or Jaime?
There's no question, Jaime. Tyrion's not gonna kill his dad, then kill Cersei too. It's not like that. That wouldn't be fulfilling as a viewer. And like
exactly. That's what I was just about to say.
And more importantly than that, I think that, like I said, you know, when characters as big as, like, you know, a Daenerys or Cersei has to die, it has to make sense. The person killing them, and who's really gonna kill Cersei other than somebody like Jaime? You know what I mean, or Arya. You know, for that matter.
People were saying that Arya was going to take his face or something.
Yeah, that's a big theory too. You know, I mean, at first I was like, oh my god, that would be crazy. You know, at the same time.
How would that work though? Because the mountain is always right next to Cersei.
Yeah, well, I was saying to my barber, I was like, well, maybe, like, you know, this is like, you know, probably episode like 6 or 5, like the last one or the one before that, and like.
How do we know Qyburn's not going to bring Cersei back if he dies? He brought back the mountain, and it wouldn't even be that important because the mountain is literally a fucking.
We ain't got that much time for her to bring her back.
Big question: if the White Walkers come to Winterfell, which they will, can they bring back the people in the crypts?
That's what I think that's what my barber thought. I think that's what he said.
Oh, that's what she could be running from?
He said Ned Stark. He said,
oh my god, bro! I would freak. That's a Game of Thrones type of thing to do.
I saw that. It made sense to me, but then I was like,
it's pushing it.
Yeah, like I feel like these theories, people are just thinking like everything, and like that's why I don't read anything or any of these things. I just wanted
because they're thinking something that's so amazing, but they're just setting up these crazy high expectations.
And then you deviate from what you thought, and it's just too much. I just kind of want to go into it with, like, you know, a clear mind,
dies
and
from
then
off a cliff, and you're
see what happens. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because even though it's still shocking to see, like, I wish I had no idea. Like, oh my god, kind of like, you know,
it makes sense though.
Because like
it makes sense that the White Walker could do that.
Yeah,
he could just go into the crypts.
Yeah,
and raise all of them, bro.
I mean, I just wish I never knew. That's why when I heard it, like, it sounded so possible that I was like, damn, like, I wish I could. Even though if it still happens, I still will be surprised by it. I'll be like, oh shit, but like, I just wish I had because I wouldn't think that off the top of my head. Because fortunately for me, not saying, you know, not anything against our theorists, you know, but I don't sit down in my room all day coming up with theories. You know
all right, before we end it, who do you think is the best actor in that entire thing?
The whole thing? That's kind of hard, honestly. Bro. I couldn't pick anyone. I think that they're all like because
Lena fucked me up when I followed her on Instagram and saw her like the cast remembers stuff. And she's so much more different. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Dany's so much more different, bro. Her eyebrows be dancing when she talks in real life. You saw that shit?
She's like very
expressive in the face.
Yeah,
very
she's
expressive.
very just excited.
But then in the show, she's stone cold like face. I don't know how she'd be like.
I don't know. I would say like, you know, honestly, you know, aside from the many favorites of everybody, because my whole thing is like I love characters. You know what I mean? Like specific characters. You know, and I feel like Dany, you know, while she is a character. She's, you know, that she has the cold demeanor, like, you know, which is very not simple to me, but, you know, it's it is what it is. I feel like, you know, one of my favorite characters always, and when he's on screen, is Varys. Varys is such a character with like his poise, his everything. Like, he's a character, you know what I mean? And that to me is just like, and the consistency, and he's just so like, that's like a person, you know what I mean? Aside from character traits that Dany has, such as cold-blooded, this, that, like John, honorable, da-da-da-da. Like, it's kind of hard to describe Varys.
Yeah.
It's very hard to describe him because he's just Varys. You know, those kind of people?
I mean, if you like Varys, and I would say Littlefinger's up there too. Then.
Oh, he's another
character.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can describe him as sly, of course, you know, all these
mysterious
things. But just like, he's just very like himself, even though that's not an actual real person. You know what I mean? It's just,
and I mean, this series alone is just so big.
It's,
you know,
like,
it's
massive.
like, it's like I've invested so much time into
Right.
watching it 8 times over, like
Right.
4 times over, literally. And like learning the map, and you know what I mean. It's all these things. It's like
a culture.
Fuck, yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
No, seriously.
Yeah, and you know,
Like they're seriously gonna have to do not like a Comic-Con, but like they need to do something. Like a Game of Thrones like entire convention or something,
yeah.
where you just go and experience.
That probably
it.
is what I say.
Like I saw Lacey sitting on the Iron Throne with the fur coat.
Yeah, did you see her Snapchats with all the
Yeah, she said Westeros gone wild.
the tears that were coming from my eyes?
Yo,
honestly.
that was so funny. I was like, where are you?
It's like,
How do you get these invites?
right? I know, such a lazy thing to be at, but you know.
Yeah, no, seriously. I wonder.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I'm gonna start buying like you know, those really nice professional mics that Joe Budden and you know Joe Rogan have and stuff. So I'm trying to get I'll get like a third one so that I can have Lacey on, so that we could all talk about Game of Thrones. Because I try to talk some theories with her and stuff. She's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the Game of Thrones first episode of the season 8 breakdown.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on.
Oh, of course.
Tell them about your Instagram, or don't you have like a Finsta?
Whatever.
No. Is that what they're called?
I'm not using. I'm on my. I'm super cool, and I'm not using my social media
Nice.
these days. Yeah.
I'm like the opposite now.
Yeah.
I'm
No, I mean,
lot.
I'm like legitimately at the point where I'm like, okay, like I need to be on Twitter for like 5 minutes, and like that's it. So like I'll use it.
I'm on mine a lot.
Like I'll scroll on Instagram for like about like 3-4 minutes, you know, just because like obviously like we're all addicted, and I was addicted at one point too. So like now I'm like, I try to like limit it. So that's why when people ask me if I have social media, I just say no, because like I'm not really using it. Like if you want to get in contact with me, you can just like call me.
Yeah.
So like,
but I don't want the viewers just randomly calling you.
732, fuck you.
But yeah, cool. Yeah, so yeah, this was the breakdown.
Yeah,
cool.
bro.
We're definitely gonna do these more.
Yeah.
We'll maybe do this episode 2.
Yeah,
That'll be
I'm down.
awesome.
I'm down.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being on.
Got you, bro.
This is No Comment. This was the first episode breakdown of Game of Thrones. Peace out.